We are talking about the best teams in Marvel Strike Force for the month of November. Let's get it. We'll start off with the team that is the new hotness. That is the Immortal Weapons. So we have Iron Fist World War II available right now, free to play. If you've been playing for a while as an endgame player, maybe yours looks a little bit like this. I got the diamonds recently on the Iron Fist and started to stack diamonds on World War II, right? We didn't have diamonds, I don't think, when World War II, when either of those characters, in all honesty, I don't think we had diamonds when they were released into the game. So we're starting to stack those characters, still meditating on what type of ISO World War II should be. We cored for Lady Bullseye, we got her. So, hey man, we're just stacking up, just waiting to see what this team is going to be able to do and what they're going to be capable of. The team that came out before them was the Brimstone team. And again, I don't get into demons and stuff like that. So normally what we would be showing you is hopefully a completed team, or as close to completed as possible on the free to play side, right? We try to get that previous team built up before we start moving into the next one. But I didn't work really much on the team. So I'm curious, how far were you able to get with the Brimstone team? Are they done? Are they almost done? I know we got some events right now for Living Mummy. So obviously there's pieces of him we still need. Brimstone is a very strong team. We're not taking anything away from that. They are a very strong team. What is reasonable though, right? We're just trying to gauge what is reasonable as far as progress on the free-to-play side for this team at present. If we look at this from the perspective again of the baby account, there's some things we want to keep in mind. One, the Iron Fist characters, they're available now. We want to start farming them. So we can click on Iron Fist, go to find, and I guess I already got them for the day, but they are in the new store, as well as at the end there in Nexus 2-3. So here's another look at it, Nexus 2-3. We want to make sure that we farm them every day as well. But don't forget, in the character section of the store under Age of Annihilus, right? These are older characters that are being used again. So they are now in the most recent section, the Age of Annihilus. You have your World War II. So we want to make sure we grab him, and our Iron Fist proper. We want to make sure we grab him. So depending on when and how often you're able to check the store, 2 to 3 times a day, you'll be able to get a hold of those characters. And like matter, I already have Lady Bullseye unlocked there. And again, just to point out again that store is very important. You see, we're kind of stuck here at gear tier. Where are we? 17. I need this unique piece. It's Ballistic Weave. So we could hit the find button. It would take you right there. But I already had purchased it for the day, so I have to go there manually. So in the gear store, you just scroll down. You see we have our Ballistic Weave. So again, that's 6 pieces that if I can get into the store twice a day, that's 12 guaranteed pieces. So this is a much improved upgrade on how things worked in the past. Let's talk about the most important game mode in Marvel Strike Force, Arena. So if we look at my roster for Arena, right, I got my Professor X, which is great. Got my Professor X, and we have the 3 newer members of the Fantastic Four MCU. We got Professor X, and then that 5th member. In this case, I got Odin standing there. That 5th member is what's going to change and rotate right now, at least, depending on what's going on inside the Arena meta. We can see my rank is 21, so I think we'll be able to look more carefully at that later. But people generally outside of, we'll say, the top 50 in my Arena shard do not have Professor X, so I shouldn't be able to fall too far beyond that. Shouldn't be able to fall too far beyond 50. But let's take a look and see what we're up against. So these are some of my opponents, and as you can see, as we mentioned, the 3-piece of the Fantastic Four MCU, Professor X, and then that 5th person changes. So we got Stoofs there on the right. He has Apocalypse for the 5th. So what you would do is you would change for that Odin. Like, that's what I did. If Odin, as we see with Goemon there in the middle, if Odin is the individual in charge, then you would change that character to Emma Frost so that you can get the speed advantage and go first. And with Big Bad Jim there on the left, if it's Emma Frost, then you switch to Apocalypse. So those are basically the rock, paper, scissors of Arena right now. People are reporting that Blue Marvel isn't really doing a whole lot. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens when the strength kicks in. Maybe he changes Arena, maybe he doesn't. If we look at the top 3 in my Arena shard, we got Anna Vamp, right? She's been on that list quite a bit. We got Dan coming up next, and then Commander Aspire. Maybe we can get some inspiration from looking at the teams that they are using. So Anna Vamp, this would be what she's using on the offensive side of the ball. Big Positive Geek helped me to appreciate that. On the offensive side of the ball, for her last encounter, she used Fantastic Four MCU, Professor X, and she has Dormammu. Interesting. I'm wondering how that's going to work, right? Is it just you take those extra hits because you got Dormammu, got those extra hits that if one of your characters gets erased, they can stand back up? Maybe that's the key. We have Dan with Invisible Woman, Franklin, Xavier, and he's going with the Human Torch. And also, we see Dormammu. So there must be something to this on the offensive side. That that's what I'm making an assumption right now. I don't know, but I'm assuming if one of your characters gets eliminated before you get to that Professor Xavier ult, then right, the character gets to stand back up and hopefully get another shot and keep more targets on the board to stop Professor X from being eliminated before he gets that ultimate ability. And coming in at number 3 is Commander Aspire. So we got Invisible Woman MCU, we got Franklin, Professor X, Mr. Fantastic, and he is going with Mephisto on the offensive side. So again, there's a lot of things, right? A lot of variation, at least in that 5th spot. A lot of different things that people are doing, a lot of different things people are trying. What is working out for you as far as your arena shard goes? So here we see that I'm ranked 21 on my main account here. So not too shabby, right? Not too shabby. It is difficult for me to get into the top 10. The characters, right? The people, they just have like maxed out characters, right? So Gear Tier 20, full diamonds, and I'm still putting in pieces when it comes to my Fantastic Four MCU team. In fact, we'll switch over really quickly and take a peek. So you see my Invisible Woman MCU, right? We're working on her. We're working our way up on the purple ISO, but we don't have her maxed out as far as stars go, meaning that we can't take advantage of that power with the diamonds. The same for my Franklin, the same for my Mr. Fantastic MCU. So people that went harder or spent money, right, their characters are just a touch stronger. And so in a rubber match, they're able to do more damage, take less damage, and they're able to push me out at this point, even if I have the right combination, right? They're just that extra star, 3 more diamonds, right? It's enough power to push me out. So from where I am in my arena right now, in that top 20-ish range, right? If I'm trying to get up into the top 10, I can't get into the top 10 because I just simply don't have enough power. So I am still trying to get shards for those characters. That'll give me, right? I should be then as strong as everybody else. And so then it just comes down to a matter of discipline and trying to work on it every day. So we're still doing a little bit of looking, but it appears that as far as rank 78 goes, that is how many Xaviers. So we're gonna go with 78 Professor X that we have in my arena. If I'm looking at this correctly, Heavy Dead does not have Professor X. So that would mean, right, if that's the farthest I could fall, right? We want to know both ends of the stick. I want to know how far I can punch up. If you don't have Professor X in my arena shard, 79 is the best you can do. If I do have him, falling down to 79 is the farthest that I would fall if perhaps I was inactive or something like that. So just things to keep in mind, right? Nothing crazy, just things to keep in mind as we move forward and looking at our game and trying to plan on what characters we need to have. So as mentioned with regards to arena, we know the Fantastic Four MCU are indeed the best arena team in the game right now. If you're just looking for a vanilla arena team, primarily those big 3, Invisible Woman, Franklin Richards, and Mr. Fantastic MCU. So on my account here, we're using those 3 characters, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, and Franklin, and we're trying to play around with the other couple pieces. We have Vulture here, and we have been using Emma Frost. I see we got Quasar right there. We're doing some experimentation. It's not really working out, but Emma Frost, since she's now a member of the Hellfire Club team, her stats are increased. Vulture, as part of the new Insidious 6 team, his stats are increased. They both control speed, so they've been allowing me to take on teams that are much, much stronger than myself. So anything short really of that Xavier, right? Anything short really of that Xavier, I can try to take on. Going against those diamonds and whatnot you see there in the middle with Colvin, that's questionable, but it can be done. Okay, it can be done. We refresh here, and again, we got more of the same. So Colvin there in the middle, that's kind of what I'm going for, except for with the thing, I got the Vulture, and we'll have Emma Frost as well. It just gives me the opportunity to probably go first. Now we're going to see what happens when the Quasar event comes back around. Maybe I can get my Quasar stronger, and maybe that will make a difference. But I just want you to note, again, even on a weaker account, right, I'm still able to stay inside of the top 50 now just because I went after the main arena team, Fantastic Four MCU. The top 3 in that arena shard are yet Doom Slug, God Tier, who's a newer member to, I believe, I don't think I've seen him before, and Chris Rock. We've seen Chris Rock a lot on this list since we started playing the game with this account. So what does this information mean for me? Well, number 35 there, Destroyer, has Xavier. So I cannot, without him, I can't go above that. That's going to be my ceiling. I'm at 44. So, right, I'm probably almost to where I can be. It's just those things to keep in mind to know, again, what type of investment you should be making. So let's get into the actual most important game mode in Marvel Strike Force, raids. A great catch-up mechanic in the game is still the Spotlight raids. Now, we haven't seen any adjustments in the Spotlight raid for some time. I suspect that either the last team of the year or one of the first 2 teams going into 2026 will be a new Spotlight raid team, and it will bring some changes to this game mode. So Alpha Flight is one of these Spotlight raid teams. They're very dated. They're an older team. I really can't recommend, if you're coming from behind, to build this team. I think there are some catch-up mechanics in place, maybe some tokens where they just kind of give you some of these characters. And if that's the case, yeah, just use them at the power level that they give you for free. But as far as building and investing in this team, I can't really encourage you to do that, but it is needed to get points and things inside of the Spotlight raid. The other Spotlight raid team that is needed are the Uncanny Avengers. So you need this in Spotlight as well as in the newer Annihilation raid. So again, these characters are good to go for, depending on how far back you have to reach. Maybe we just put that on the side. I'm always an advocate of sticking with what's new, but this is a team that is also necessary to score points in a Spotlight raid. One of the reasons why the Spotlight raid is important is because, again, it is a catch-up mechanic for the free-to-play side of things. So the Spotlight raid orb right there in the middle, it hasn't been updated yet. I was trying to wait and see if there would be some changes. So Satana, as far as when I'm making this video, is still the main character there inside the Spotlight raid. Every time you open one of those orbs, you're going to be guaranteed 5 Satana shards. On the left-hand side, we have characters for the Vigilante team as well as the Thunderbolt team. You'll get 2 shards of each as you're making your way through, trying to make sure you have those teams maxed out. And on the right side, you have a bunch of different characters there. So you have your Vulture, you have your Shocker as far as the Insidious 6 team is concerned. You have some Hellfire Club members as well. You have Brimstone members, so all the free-to-play characters from those things, as well as it looks like a couple of the Secret Warriors. The free-to-play members of those teams are also available inside the Spotlight orb. So again, it's just there to help you catch up and get some of these characters that you may not otherwise have. When it comes to the Annihilation raid, the characters will just follow what we've had over the past couple raid teams here. So we have the Sinister Six is what's listed here. The Sinister Six is what is listed here, but we're looking at the Insidious Six in the form of Superior Spider-Man, Hobgoblin, and the Scorpion. Individuals to go alongside them in the raid will be Vulture and Shocker. And if you do not have all of these characters, if we were to dial the difficulty down, these characters all fall under the classification of tech-based characters. So those nodes, tech characters, could be used, but you want the Insidious Six, those top 5 individuals there, to get the most rewards out of the nodes. Previous to that, we had the Hellfire Club. So again, the newer members there will be Sebastian Shaw, Azazel, and Rachel Summers. The older members that you need to farm if you don't have them are Emma Frost and Madeline Pryor. If for some reason you don't have the complete team and you don't have enough people to fill in, these are all mutant characters. So you could dial the difficulty down to simply be mutants and fill in characters as needed. But the Hellfire Club as a whole is what is necessary to get the most points. Lady Bullseye is a member of the Immortal Weapons there on the left-hand side, but they did give her the Thunderbolt tag. So Thunderbolts are the bio version of the raid team that you need. Again, if you were to dial down the tags, bio would be the most general topic. But Thunderbolts is the named team that you need to make the most progress. Again, we do have Lady Bullseye. So just depending on when you're coming into the game, the team will not be as strong, right? It's not meant to function with Lady Bullseye. But perhaps if you're just coming into the game, it may be more advantageous to simply build her and maybe leave out one of the other characters like Taskmaster or Ghost. Both of those characters are good. They're both good characters, but resources are limited. So if you only can build 5 characters, it's better to stick with the newer characters. And since she's going to slot into the team, it will be doable. It won't be awesome, but it will be doable. The Vigilante team make up the skill portion of the roster. So this is my Vigilante team at present. Again, Vigilante is an excellent team. They're very strong. They do well. They're one of the better raid teams in general. They're also made by Ricardo, by the way. So it's going to be interesting to see what this Immortal Weapons team can actually do since Vigilante was so good. The gentleman, again, Ricardo, he makes good teams. So we want to see what this Immortal Weapon team can do once it's up and running. But Vigilante is a great skill-based team. And as mentioned, we have the Uncanny Avengers. They are also one of the named teams that you need in the Annihilation raid. If you were to back their traits down, global would be where they would fit. You could use global members, but to get the most points, you're going to want the Uncanny Avenger team. Now, I haven't taken mine super, right? This is as strong as they go. So I'm not sure if they can, I don't think they can beat the max level of difficulty. Just do the sims. Maybe I should try and see if I can do that or manually to get the most rewards. But again, it's up to you. I don't want to reach back any further to power this team up, but let me know in the comments if you believe that this can be done with if beating the max level can be done with teams that are less powerful than this. So regarding the raids on this baby account, we'll just take a quick look at the teams here. As you can see, my Insidious 6, they're the newest team, and I'm putting some power into them. They are actually doing a really good job. I'm enjoying the team, but I'm not going to go back and build again these older characters. It's just too far. Including Green Goblin Classic down there. But the Insidious 6 as a whole is doing a really good job. Regarding the rest of the raid teams, so Hellfire Club, Thunderbolts, Vigilantes. So you see they're gear tier 18-ish, so I can do difficulty 7 comfortably so far. Sometimes I can push it up to difficulty 8, but difficulty 7 seems to be the sweet spot. And then obviously we got Night Stalkers there, who's being replaced by the Immortal Weapon team. Think about my Uncanny Avengers here. They do just enough on difficulty 2 of the Spotlight raid. They do just enough, right? They can, generally speaking, do all the nodes. Sometimes they get beaten at the boss node, so I use somebody different. I think that Super Scroll node, I use somebody different just so I don't lose this team. Then I don't have to refresh them, but they're able to mostly get through on Spotlight raid 2 with what you see here. Otherwise, it's Alpha Flight. Again, it's an older team. I don't know how much power I actually put into the team. I remember there were some tokens. It's been a while since we did one of these. I have to compare. But again, for right here, they're able to get through the sections that they need to with just this power. Sometimes they lose. But generally speaking, they're able to get through with what you see here. They might lose on the Alpha Flight boss, but we should be doing them with other people. So together we can probably get it through. Next, we'll get into Cosmic Crucible. I'm about 50-50 on the main account. And if you look at the baby, I'm doing better. I'm 2 for 1, but let's get into the teams. So again, I'm not the best Cosmic Crucible player. As we look over here at the rewards, we do get some training materials for participating in the process, as well as some diamond orb fragments. So every week you get a little bit of that. Again, as you saw, I'm kind of a 50-50 player. I'm not great. I'm on the PvP side. But what teams came out recently for Crucible and which ones would you say are good? The most recent Cosmic Crucible team to enter the game are the Accursed team. Very strong team. Azazel can be made to be part of that team as well. You can pop somebody out, put him in, and that will increase the speed of the team. Again, I don't really do demons and stuff like that when it comes to the supernatural, but the team itself is incredibly strong. They hit very hard. They are probably the standalone best Cosmic Crucible team in the game. Before them, we have the Starjammers. Starjammers, great team. Again, very strong. You need all 5 members for them to do what they do. You can't replace anybody. But again, this team they're good. They're made for drilling out strong characters like Odin, Mephisto, things of that nature. So, right, they're a good trump card to throw in, and they're difficult to deal with on the defensive side. Next up, we have the Immortal X-Men. And so they made some adjustments. You're allowed to use Rachel Summers there to be part of the Immortal X-Men team. Again, she changes the speed of things. So there's some, if you want to use her or Cable, they're not letting you get both speed options. So in many cases, then people substitute Rachel for Cable or perhaps Polaris and still use the speed option that is available to you as far as turn meter, rewind and stuff with Cable. You just don't get the stuff that activates on Spawn. But the team is very good. They're not as good as the other teams that we mentioned, but they're still a very strong Cosmic Crucible team. We're still counting backwards, and that brings us to the Illuminati. The Illuminati, they're an older team, right? They're an older team. They're getting dated. Their stats are starting to show, the deficiency in their stats are starting to show, but they're still a very good team. They're difficult to deal with. They're kind of, again, if I put more power into them, maybe I would see something different. I have fought against some Illuminati teams that are still very potent. They wear you out, right? They go very quickly. They get a lot of buffs. And so the team can be difficult to deal with. Before that, we got the Cabal. Interesting team, 3 villains that will buff 2 other villains. So the team itself is decent. Again, they're stat-wise, they're sort of falling off. The benefit, again, would be in the other characters that you bring in. If I put more power into them, you would see more. Blastar, obviously, is a villain. So some people have been using him. And some people have been using the Phoenix Force team to go along with that. Sometimes they use Kang the Conqueror or Emma Frost, right? Somebody to change the speed so that your team can go first. Because the buffs that these guys give allow people to hit harder, to give assists. There's healing involved, but you need to get turns in order to do that. And since we mentioned the Phoenix Force, we want to go ahead and look at the members that we have here. So Omega Red Phoenix Force, very strong character in conjunction with the Phoenix. And we know that during the fan vote, Magneto will be coming sometime in 2026 to be the 3rd member of this Phoenix Force team. In the meantime, once again, this duo is still good. They're strong, right? They're very strong, actually. So if you can figure out different teams to work them into, maybe with Blastar here and Thunderstrike coming out, maybe that's a viable option as well. And then you would just need a 5th that seems, see if we can keep that team going. We'll be curious to see what they're capable of doing as time goes on. That brings us to the Superior 6. Now again, the Superior 6 team is dated, but Superior Spider-Man has the Superior 6 tag. And so maybe some mix and match of some of these characters, or maybe using some of the Insidious 6 characters as well, you can put together a decent Cosmic Crucible team. Notably Green Goblin Classic, right? Green Goblin Classic, he's very good. He's very good. He's an older character. I can't, again, recommend that people reach back to go get him if they don't have him already. But in Cosmic Crucible, he's a very strong character. And coupled with some of these other individuals, he might be able to help you make a formidable team. With Crucible, I'm kind of struggling. So because of the Accursed, right, the demons, I didn't really mess with them. I don't have a true Cosmic Crucible team. And so that's the issue that I'm running into right now, right? If I go up against somebody else that has Accursed, or they have Starjammers, right, Immortal X-Men, they put those on defense, Illuminati, I don't have another true Cosmic Crucible team to deal with them. So I just have to kind of use the strength that I have, just one of my stronger teams, and hope that I can punch my way through. But this is a weakness that I do have at this time. Let's get into Alliance War. With my new alliance with Puck, we're 12-9. We're doing pretty good, man. We're doing pretty good with motivation. We're 58-34. So both alliances have a winning record right now. It's good to see. We'll see what happens with the next war, but right now, my alliance is ranked 159. We're starting to get a little bit better, right? We're doing a little bit better. Participation is there. People want to win. That's always helpful when it comes to Alliance War. And you want some of that stuff to be the case. Again, as we look at the changed rewards, what do we have here? We have some tier 5 ions as well as some tier 4s. And that's what we're going to be using to get people up to purple ISO 4, which is what we're going to be needing to get blue Marvel. Our tier 4 ability materials, that's also something that's important, that's difficult to get. So participating in war, just doing the best that you can, that's how you're going to get some of those rewards. The most recent Alliance War team to be made complete here is the Undying team. Now they're full of zombies. I don't really do zombies, but the team was incredibly powerful, and that was before Zombie Kestrel came in on the field. So now with her in addition, this team should be very, very strong. It's interesting that it's all completed now. We'll see what happens later. They made an announcement that they're going to try to continue something like this, or we're going to have more zombies, or will something different happen? That has yet to be seen. Brimstone is probably the most dominant war team at present. They hit incredibly hard. They're difficult to deal with. They negate a lot of the things that your characters can do. So this is probably the #1 team. Between them and Undying right now, there's kind of a debate, but Brimstone seems to be the most potent team in the game at present, especially for the normal players, as the zombie team, the Undying team, is made up of epic members, meaning that to really get the full power, the full potential of the team, it might cost a little bit of money. The Secret Warriors are also making their way into the game. Again, this is a team I didn't do a whole lot with, but Phantom Rider, with the rest of these characters, is incredibly potent. They're able to knock out a lot of characters that do a lot of damage. I'm wondering how they are working out for you. Reaching back to probably about this time last year, we have the Liberty team. Liberty's very strong. They were made once again to one-shot Mephistos, really put you on the map again. Same thing for Odin's. You're able to target who you want to target early, and so if you have enough firepower, you can just one-shot people, right? You can not, shouldn't say, keep saying one-shot. You can just tunnel down an opponent. So if you have enough firepower, there's a little bit of speed control. You get to take a lot of turns before your opponent. You can remove a character or two, and obviously if you remove the main engines or the characters that give the most damage early, then that puts you in a position to win. Then we have the Mighty Avengers. Now, Swordmaster, you see him there at the bottom. He has the Mighty Avenger tag. We'll be doing some experimentation to see really what does that mean. Can they do anything extra if I put Swordmaster in and remove someone else? I haven't had a lot of opportunity to test, but we're going to find out in the coming days. The Mighty Avengers, though, are a good team. They work by removing the opponent's buffs. They can remove charges and put them on themselves, buffs, put them on themselves. They have ability blocks and speed very, very quickly. So if you're able to get off to the races early, and once again, take away the thing that makes your opponent good, right? Teams like that, if the team starts with something, defenses, charges, something like that, and you're able to take that away early, then this team works out very well in those situations. Absolute A-Force. So they're an older war team now, but they're still very, very good. Kahori is an excellent plug-and-play character. She's very dangerous. She gets to take pretty much 2 moves back to back. So it really sets you up for controlling your opponents. Miss Marvel Classic, difficult to drill through. Those 2 characters, most in particular together, are really what makes this team difficult to deal with. They are getting a bit older, but I still enjoy playing with the team. Mercs for Money, they still are good, right? Again, they're getting older, but Old Man Logan is such a strong character. He's such a great character. As long as you can keep him moving, you're going to be able to win, right? This team is set up to be able to keep him moving, and if that happens, you're going to be able to win. They're getting old. They're a little bit dated. Dawkins very strong, hits really hard, but unless you're an elder game player, reaching back to get these characters probably isn't worth it, but they are one of my favorite teams. When it comes to Alliance War, we're running into that same difficulty. I don't have a true Alliance War team that has any bite to it. So for the time being, we're just using our raid teams, our Fantastic Four MCU, and we'll just have to see what the next team that comes out is, as to whether it is Crucible, raid, or war, and see what we can do with that instead. Let's take a minute to review the teams for our newest game mode, Battle World. Teams that would fall under the mantle of Battle World. Well, Astral is the original Battle World team. Again, they do well. They're helping us to achieve some score in the current version of Battle World. They're not the best team, but they are there to achieve some score. Again, Shadow King being the legendary member of the team. There would need to be some investment for you to have to go back and get him. As you can see, I have him at 6 and not 7 stars because, again, it takes that investment to go back and build older characters. And at this point, it's just not something that I'm going to do. But the team itself is very strong. Emma Frost, X-Men, excellent character. Moondragon, an ancient one inside this team, cause problems. So Brimstone is right now the named Battle World team. They're not Battle World in the sense that they don't have that built into their kits, but the way the new Century City Battle World is set up, you get extras and they get extra bonuses. They can do extra damage to the boss simply because they're the Brimstone team. So right now, in your pursuit of Century, Brimstone is the best team to do that job. And in fact, in our current pursuit of Century, we are at 100 shards. Are you farther ahead than that? Do you have more shards in your Century? Just moving through the ranks here, if we look at our epic characters, as we mentioned, we got Omega Ray Phoenix Force. The zombies I'm not really a fan of, but Blue Marvel. So Blue Marvel, I don't have any on him yet. We're still working our way to trying to get our first character that has Purple ISO 5. We're still trying to get our first character. We know that some of you are already, there's some people that already are done. And there's people that have a number of characters already completed. We'll be on our way. It's just going to take us some time. This is our legendary roster at present. So we got Blastar, we got Quasar. Old Man Logan is still one of our favorites. And as we scroll down, we're working on Thunderstrike. We're at 50 of 180 at the time of this video. So far, how far ahead are you? Again, it's possible mathematically for some people to have Thunderstrike right now. There are some people that have him perhaps right now. Not me. Right? It's mostly free to play player, but I am curious to see how him and Blastar actually work together in the live game. And finally, with our mythics, we have all our mythics unlocked. I was really stoked again to get that Professor X. We got our Odin, and maybe it's possible I'll reach back and work on that Apocalypse. Again, I'm not putting power into Mephisto or Dormammu. Maybe we'll reach back a little bit and put some power into Apocalypse, but right now we're doing a lot of work with Odin and Professor Xavier. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. You could throw them in on the Discord as well. I will try to get back to you about anything about team building. Again, I'm not the most aggressive person in the game. I'm probably much more conservative, but hey man, as you see, we're having positive results. We can help that happen for you too. And yo, if you haven't seen this video right here, please check it out. It's legit.